And so if I had a kid, I would have to radically change my life because I would see it as my duty. I'm not going to go on tour. I'm not going to do like I do like 14-month long tours, come back for now and then, but I'm not going to be talking on a tour bus to my kid after a show. Like, where's dad? Oh, dad's in Buffalo. Well, no, screw that. Dad should be with the kid. And that's just how I see it. And so I don't want to change how I live. So I wouldn't go on that venture unless I was willing to just radically change my life to not be a bad dad. Because kids, no kid is asked to get born. They kind of come out and go like, dude, hook me up with a life here.
Dog, I knocked my wife up at 49. I had no idea. They told me if you smoke pot, you got no sperm spells. I smoke pot with 3 hands. She comes in the office one day and says, you knocked me out. This was not in my plan. I had a child when I was young. I failed as a father. The wife won't talk to me. The kid won't talk to me. I paid my child support. I did my legal obligations. Right. It just didn't work out because of my career. I wasn't ready for it. I had to pick one. Today, I only work on the road 6 days a month. You know, I leave here at 4 and take it to karate. And she's 5. She just lost a second tooth when I was on the phone with you last night. And she kept saying, tell him. Dad. She kept saying, tell that guy that I lost my other tooth. I didn't want to tell her it was Lee because then she would have said, but I feel like it's my obligation. But I'm also, at 5, I instill that work ethic.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's very important.
I would worry if I was a parent that I would clobber the child over the head with my values. I think as a parent, maybe you find your way because everyone's a rookie when they first have a kid and you're like, what do we do? But I would want to be careful that I wouldn't be too much. Like, here's how you got to be. Like, that's not you.
No, I don't know. It's not.
You know, I would just be afraid of being too, like, here's how you're going to live your life.
20 years ago, I would have been that dad.
Yeah.
Today, after seeing what I've seen, I'm very open with her. I talk with her. She's 5. I speak to her on the way out. I have to go to work. I love you. I had a meeting at 9, so I couldn't drive her to school. I can't, and I tell her, behave for your teachers and keep your eyes open. You know, and you know the same with the shit my mom said to me. Keep your eyes open. Don't let nobody mess with you today. You know, there's a scene when you're A.J. Weston in Sons of Anarchy at the end, and you bend over to your son and you go outside and remember, don't say nothing to the police. That was my mom growing up.
Oh, yeah.
The police were always around my mom's bar. My mom would pull me over and go, listen, remember, don't say dick, you don't know nothing. My mom went to a dance with her sister when she was 16 and the sister was 15. And my mom lost her and she felt she was responsible for us in Cuba. So when she went outside to look for her little sister, she was getting raped. Oh. And my mother took a bottle, broke it, and killed the guy, stabbed the guy. The guy eventually died. They had to ship her out of Cuba, bring her to the States. So then she went back a couple of years later with a Puerto Rican chick's ID because, you know, there was no 9/11. There was no TSA. They didn't give a fuck. You know, there was a time you just showed up at the thing and said, I have the 7 a.m. flight. Who are you? Henry Rollins. All right, Mr. Rollins. I can use whatever. Now you have an ID. So when she went back to Cuba, she went under an alias. And when she came back to the States, that alias became, and then she opened up a bar, and somebody else had to do the fingerprints for her, the whole fucking deal.
Wow, that's great. What a great story.
Yeah, so she named her street name was, her real name was Denora Valdez, but her street name was Sofia Cecilio.
Do you go visit Cuba?
No.
Have you ever been?
I left at 3, and let's just say, let's leave it at that. You know, I'm here. I'm having a good time.
So what, if you went back there, you get chopped up or something?
I think they wouldn't let me back in.
Oh, okay.
I think the government would.
Because I went once. I went a few years ago.
What did you think?
I loved it. Havana was a beautiful city. The food was amazing. Everyone plays an instrument, it seems. Every bar had an amazing piano player. I met this old woman behind a piano. She's beautiful. And she had a big bowl on her piano for money, tips and whatever, and a stack of her CDs. I said, I'll buy one of those. And I bought CDs from the local players. So they all have like a CDR of their music. I'm like, I'll buy all of it. Because it's like, $8. And you help, it helps the local music scene. And I had one of a great lesson that I get when I try. I've been to about 100 countries. I go pretty far and wide. I was thrown in a van with a bunch of people from Chicago. To get around, I kind of had to be part of a tour group. I missed the lobby call to go visit some farm that Fidel like winked at many years ago, so we have to go see it. I mean, anything Fidel touched, you have to go look at it. It was a bit of a propaganda tour when I was there. So I missed the lobby call by like a minute, and I asked the guy in the lobby, I said, "Did you see a van?" He said, "Yeah, your van just left." But he looked at the itinerary. He said, "Okay, your van's going to be at this farm in 3 hours. We'll get you to that farm and you can wait it out." So they put me in the local bus, and you pay like whatever it is, like 50 cents. And they explain, "Hey, get this idiot down to this farm. He lost his tour group." And the guy speaks no English, hardly any word, alone in this little school bus going down some country road. We're outside of Havana. And he's trying to communicate with me. He said, "Hello." I said, "Hello." He shook my hand. He's like, reaching over with his right hand from the steering wheel. And he said, "Baseball." I said, "Baseball." We shook hands on baseball. He goes, "Me, Cuba." And I said, "Me, America." We shook hands on that. We're like toasting with handshakes. And he said, "You," like made it like a jet. And I said, "Yeah, Tres Diaz." And he said, "Me, no." I went, "Yeah, I know, man. I'm so sorry." And we just kept, shaking hands. And we got to this intersection where you make a right and you go to the farm. I figured I'll get out and I'll just walk. It's like 3 miles. It's a public bus route. He deviated from the bus route to take me to the farm, and he just kept finding all the English he knew. "America, good." I said, "Cuba, good." We shake hands on that. I shook the guy's hand like 10 times because he just wanted to be friendly and say, "We can get along." And so when someone like wants to demonize a country or says something about Cuba, I said, "Man, you need to shut up, because if you went, you'd really like it." And I had this great moment with this guy, just the two of us on this bus. And he dropped me off at the farm, and they were very nice to me. And I sat there and read a biography on Lincoln for like 2 hours and waited for the tour group, who wondered how I got there. But it was just one of those great experiences you get when you get out of the house and you get into the world. But I had a great time in Cuba. At night, when I was back in Havana, there's that long sidewalk by the shoreline with a retaining wall.
Baladero.
Okay. And the kids just hang out there because there's nothing to do.
Right,
it's like a boombox, and they're just
dance and
just being young and beautiful. And I'm some old man walking by, and I would just walk amongst them, just watching them be young. And this is what you do at night. You just hang out with each other, got the music, and I would just kind of walk amongst them every night and just kind of take it in. And the air was great, and I'd love to get back there.
You do not consider yourself a religious person from over the years from me listening to you.
I believe in the Stooges.
You believe in the Stooges?
I believe in Iggy Pop. So,
you do so many great things. You believe in artists. I always say that I'm not a comedian. I'm in the karma business.
We're going in like fucking Marines. You understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.